The Fox 35 Power Panel in-house. We are talking more about this ruling today. We have Democratic State Representative Joe Saunders from Orlando and former State Representative Scott Plakin, Republican from Longwood. Gentlemen, thank you for coming in. We're going to start off with you first. Joe, what do you think about these rulings today and how they specifically will change things here in Florida?
First of all, I think that today is an incredible day for the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community. After the rulings that have come out of the Supreme Court, gay and lesbian families across the country have more access to the full protections and responsibilities of marriage than they ever have. And I think here in Florida, what it begs the question of is the limbo that gay and lesbian families still will feel. They'll still exist in. We still have a constitutional amendment that bans civil unions and gay marriage. We have our own defensive marriage law at the state level. And I worry that what we'll really see, unless we solve this problem in the state, is we'll see gay and lesbian families, the small businesses they create, and the tax dollars they spend leave.
In 2008, voters decided by 62% to define marriage as a man and a woman in our state, and the Constitution is the highest form of law. The only thing the legislature could do is perhaps propose a constitutional amendment to overturn that. And I know this session the legislature worked on civil unions around the edges, and so to speak, but that only got through one committee. So really this is going to be, I think, if it's to be changed, it's going to come from the people. One thing this court did say, well, they didn't say this, but it seemed apparent that they were making the Proposition 8 situation specific to California, so that should have no impact on our constitutional amendment here in Florida.
Scott, there are, though, groups like Equality Florida who are working to overturn Florida's gay marriage ban. Do you think these rulings today give them more steam? We're going to have you talk first, Scott, and then Joe, I want your thoughts on this, too.
Well, there seems to be some political momentum if you read the news of what happened today, but the fact remains that voters in about 40 states have decided to define marriage in between one man and one woman, and some of the things in the rulings today did, a bright spot, I guess, say for conservatives, did seem to have a states' right component to it, that states should be able to decide these questions.
Yet there's a public policy poll that went out in June of 2011 that claims that 67% of Florida voters did support legal recognition of same-sex couples. And Joe, I'm going to toss it to you with that. I mean, that was, well, a couple of years ago now. I would imagine things have trended even further in that direction.
I think the reality in Florida is the reality across the country. Public opinion is shifting so fast as it relates to gay and lesbian families. As more people come out, as more families are willing to be authentic about the experiences that they have, public opinion shifts. And here's the reality in Florida. Right now, Florida has a national and international reputation as an anti-gay state. There are no laws that positively affect gay and lesbian families like mine. And unless we can get in front of that, we're economically disadvantaged. The legislature can act. The legislature could move on a bill that I introduced this year that would ban discrimination against the gay and lesbian community in employment. The legislature can act to create a statewide domestic partnership registry.
We certainly appreciate your time, both of you tonight, Joe Saunders and Scott Plakin. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.